December 15th, 2024 dawned like any other winter day in Madison, Wisconsin. Students at Abundant Life Christian School, bundled in warm coats and scarves, headed to their classes. Little did they know this ordinary day would become etched in their memories for all the wrong reasons. A tragedy was about to unfold, one that would shake the community to its core. At approximately 8:15 a.m., gunshots rang out, shattering the peaceful morning. Panic ensued as students and teachers scrambled for cover, unsure of what was happening. The events that transpired in the next few minutes would leave a permanent scar on the school and the entire community. The shooter, as the world would soon learn, was 15-year-old Natalie Rupnow, a student at the school. Natalie, who also went by the name Samantha, turned the gun on herself after injuring several students and tragically taking the lives of a teacher and a fellow student. The news of the Abundant Life Christian School shooting sent shockwaves across the nation. School shootings, though tragically not unheard of in America, are always deeply unsettling events. But the fact that the perpetrator in this case was a young girl made the tragedy even more difficult to comprehend. Statistically, female school shooters are exceedingly rare. According to various studies, they represent less than 5% of all school shooters. This fact only amplifies the mystery surrounding Natalie's motives and actions. What could drive a young girl to commit such a horrific act of violence? The tragedy brought forth a wave of questions, grief, and a desperate need for answers. The community, the nation, and the world wanted to understand what could lead to such a horrific event.
As investigators delved into Natalie Rupnow's background, a picture began to emerge of a troubled young life marked by instability and emotional upheaval. Natalie's family history was far from idyllic, marred by conflict and fractured relationships. Her parents had endured a tumultuous relationship for years, engaging in a protracted custody battle that spanned over a decade. They went through remarriages and even a second divorce, creating a constantly shifting family dynamic for young Natalie. This lack of stability likely took a toll on her emotional well-being, leaving her feeling insecure and adrift. In 2022, custody of Natalie was transferred from her mother to her father. While the reasons behind this decision remain unclear, such a significant change undoubtedly added to the turmoil in Natalie's life. It's plausible that she struggled to adapt to her new living arrangements and the emotional complexities that came with it.
Beyond the instability of her family life, Natalie Rupnow grappled with significant mental health challenges. Reports indicate that she had been receiving therapy, although the specifics of her diagnosis and the duration of her treatment remain unclear. It's evident that Natalie was carrying a heavy burden, struggling with inner demons that likely contributed to her desperate actions. The complexities of mental health issues in teenagers are often difficult to navigate. Teenagers are already a period of immense emotional and psychological development. When coupled with a turbulent family life and potential difficulties adjusting to a new environment, the pressure can become overwhelming. It's crucial to recognize that mental health issues are not a sign of weakness. They are real medical conditions that require understanding, compassion, and professional help. Natalie, like so many others battling mental health challenges, deserves support and guidance to navigate the complexities of her condition.
Adding to her existing hardships, Natalie Rupnow faced the daunting task of assimilating into a new school environment. She had recently transferred to Abundant Life Christian School, a change that can be challenging even under the best of circumstances.
For someone already grappling with personal turmoil, the transition may have been particularly difficult.
It's been reported that Natalie struggled to fit in at her new school. She may have been subjected to bullying, social isolation, or both.
These experiences, though sadly not uncommon in school settings, can have a devastating impact on a teenager's self-esteem and mental well-being. For someone like Natalie, struggling with internal turmoil, such experiences could have exacerbated her feelings of hopelessness and despair.
The transition to a new school can be a period of great vulnerability for teenagers. It's essential for schools to foster an inclusive and supportive environment where students feel safe, respected, and valued.
Early intervention programs and resources for students struggling to adjust are crucial in identifying and addressing potential issues before they escalate. In the days and weeks leading up to the shooting, there were signs that Natalie Rupnow's mental state was deteriorating. Witnesses observed noticeable changes in her demeanor, academic performance, and social interactions. These warning signs, though subtle, may have held clues to the tragedy that was about to unfold. Some classmates reported that Natalie had become increasingly withdrawn and isolated. Others noticed a decline in her grades and a disinterest in her studies. Some even mentioned that she had made concerning remarks, hinting at a fascination with violence or a desire to harm herself or others. These behavioral changes, though seemingly insignificant on their own, when viewed collectively, paint a troubling picture of a young girl in deep distress. It's possible that these warning signs were missed or dismissed around her. As investigators pieced together the events leading up to the shooting, they uncovered a disturbing digital footprint that provided chilling insights into Natalie Rupnow's state of mind. Her online activity revealed a morbid fascination with violence, particularly school shootings, and a disturbing connection to a website displaying gruesome deaths.
Natalie's social media accounts reportedly featured content related to other mass shooters, including Eric Harris of Columbine. She had even posted pictures of herself wearing a t-shirt from a band favored by Harris. Furthermore, investigations revealed that Natalie frequented a website called Watch People Die, a site notorious for its graphic and disturbing content.
The internet can be a double-edged sword, providing a platform for both positive connection and dangerous ideologies. For someone like Natalie, already struggling with mental health issues, exposure to such disturbing content could have served as a catalyst, normalizing violence and fueling her despair. In the aftermath of the tragedy, many questions remain unanswered. What drove Natalie Rupnow to such a desperate act? Was this a preventable tragedy? While definitive answers may remain elusive, it's crucial to examine the potential role and institutional support systems and whether there were missed opportunities for intervention.
Did Natalie's family, friends, and teachers recognize the depth of her despair? Were there signs of her deteriorating mental state that were overlooked or dismissed? Did she reach out for help, only to find it lacking or inaccessible? The tragedy at Abundant Life Christian School underscores the urgent need for a multifaceted approach to addressing youth mental health. This includes improved mental health services in schools, increased awareness and education surrounding mental health issues, and readily available resources for struggling teens and their families.
The tragic case of Natalie Rupnow serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of the human psyche and the devastating consequences that can arise when mental health issues go unaddressed. While we may never fully understand what drove Natalie to commit such a horrific act, we can learn from this tragedy and work towards preventing similar incidents in the future.
This requires a societal shift in how we perceive and address mental health. We must create a culture where mental health challenges is encouraged and destigmatized. We need to equip our schools with the resources and training to identify and support students struggling with mental health issues. And we must foster open communication and understanding within families and communities to ensure that no one feels alone or hopeless.
The path forward requires a collective effort. We must work together to create a world where tragedies like the one at Abundant Life Christian School are not just mourned, but serve as catalysts for meaningful change. We owe it to Natalie, to all those affected by this tragedy, and to future generations to strive for a safer, more compassionate and understanding world.